In the spring of 2005, a self-help book quietly went on sale in ordinary bookstores across 2 countries. It promised readers their wishes would come true if they followed its method exactly. For most readers, it actually worked. This is SCP-1425. The book was never the dangerous part. What it was doing to the people reading it was. This is the complete, file-accurate story of the 20 days the Foundation internally calls Event 1425. Item number 1425. Object Class. Safe. Written by an author credited as Silberescher, one of the most highly rated pages on the entire SCP Wiki. Safe class here doesn't mean harmless. It means the object itself, once recovered, can actually be locked away. A single confirmed copy is kept in a double-locked archive at Storage Site 40. Access requires written permission from at least 2 senior officials. A second copy exists somewhere even most of the Foundation doesn't know about. Any other copy found in the wild is destroyed. Every national media outlet is quietly monitored for specific keywords tied to its text. On its surface, it's an ordinary self-help book. Visualization, mantras, positive affirmation. It teaches something called the 5-step star signal method. 10 chapters, meant to be read 1 per weekday, over 2 weeks exactly. It offers no practical advice at all. No career tips, no concrete strategies, only the ritual itself. Each night ends with a specific ritual. A star focus, aimed at a particular point in the sky, assigned by a calendar printed in the book itself. Woven beneath the wish granting is something else entirely. Mimetic triggers, layered with genuine neuro-linguistic programming techniques. Early chapters make the reader receptive. Later ones shift focus, introducing political and philosophical ideas the reader never asked to consider. By the final chapters, the goal isn't granting wishes anymore. It's making every reader's thoughts converge toward the same fixed pattern. The 10th and final chapter is where the book stops resembling self-help entirely. Most of its surviving text remains restricted even within the Foundation. Roughly 60% of readers who finish the entire book develop a specific, documented condition. Publicly, it became known as Ojai syndrome, named for the California town where it was first identified. Sufferers speak in an unfamiliar, consonant-heavy language, make delusional statements, and sometimes turn violent without warning. The book didn't appear by accident. It was written and published by a group called the Fifth Church. Its membership skews heavily toward the entertainment industry. Actors, musicians, authors, television personalities. Members are known to wear a specific accessory. A polished green stone, worn as jewelry, that helped investigators quietly identify who belonged. The publishing company behind Star Signals turned out to be a front for the church all along. The first print run was distributed quietly and privately, among the church's own circle of friends and family. A wider public release followed shortly after, in stores across the United States and the United Kingdom. Within a week, a nationally broadcast daytime talk show devoted an entire episode to promoting it, with a guest musician joining the conversation. Sales jumped 50-fold in the days that followed. Almost no critical reviews were ever published. Most negative commentary online simply vanished within hours of being posted. 12 days after publication, an ordinary family in a small California town was found in the middle of the street. All 3 were speaking loudly to each other, in patterns witnesses couldn't follow, about the world around them shifting. When a bystander approached to help, the encounter turned violent almost immediately. Local police were called. The family was taken in. Nobody involved yet understood what had actually caused it. Foundation agents investigating the incident traced it back to a copy of the same self-help book found in the family's home. Days of analysis confirmed it, a genuine anomalous cognitohazard now designated SCP-1425. And with that designation came a much worse realization. The book was already out, hundreds of thousands of copies already in public hands. A recovery plan was authorized immediately. Protocol Ophiuchus. 3 mobile task forces seized the publisher's printing facilities simultaneously in 3 different countries. Every resisting defender was met with force. No Foundation personnel were lost in the operation. An international recall followed immediately, offering a cash incentive for any copy returned, no questions asked. Part of the recovery effort meant watching national television around the clock for any sign the book's influence had reached the airwaves. It had. A musician's interview on a national talk show shifted, mid-sentence, into something the host clearly didn't mean to say. A political interview segment began describing historical events that had never actually happened, as though they were common knowledge. A children's educational program briefly and disturbingly lost its composure entirely on camera before being abruptly cut. A televised singing competition aired an unscripted, deeply unsettling segment involving its judging panel, watched by millions before anyone could stop it. Each broadcast was intercepted and explained away afterward. Exhaustion, technical difficulty, nothing that would raise real questions. Within 2 days, roughly 200,000 copies had been recovered and destroyed by incineration. A cover story was released to explain the sudden recall. A supposed contamination scare, unrelated to the book's true nature. Readers already suffering symptoms were quietly gathered and treated with a specific class of memory editing compound. By day 18, the easy recoveries were over. Remaining readers under the book's influence refused to give up their copies. Agents went door to door in protective suits, using the same contamination story as cover. A small number of confrontations turned fatal. The vast majority of recoveries, even then, were completed without violence. Day 19 marked the highest point of the crisis. Ojai syndrome cases peaked the same day the reading schedule predicted they would. The event was officially marked closed on day 20. What actually happened in London came a full day after that. A large public gathering brought thousands of people into the streets at once, all in one place, at one time. For roughly 45 minutes, according to the only surviving recording, the city itself seemed to come apart at the seams. Nobody who was there remembers any of it. The only evidence is a single, old analog recording the Foundation still holds. A director's private note, written more than a year later, finally admits what the official record never does. They got lucky. The Fifth Church, trying to protect its own secrecy, had already been suppressing public discussion of the book. That did half the Foundation's job for them. A separate, more severe containment tool was activated during the crisis. Its full consequences, the note admits, are still being managed. The reason British recovery efforts lagged so far behind American ones finally came out in the same note. Infiltration. Fifth Church members had been embedded inside Foundation facilities for at least a year, possibly longer, entirely undetected. The director's note ends with a warning, not a resolution. He doesn't believe the threat was ever fully removed. Today, the confirmed copies sit exactly where the containment procedures say they should. Locked, monitored, accounted for. Every public record of the event itself has been systematically removed from television, print, and public memory. A handful of copies are still believed to exist somewhere outside Foundation custody, in the hands of the Church itself. Most safe-class files describe something the Foundation never really had to worry about. This one describes the exact opposite. For 20 days, an ordinary bestseller nearly caused a full reality restructuring event, and almost nobody outside the Foundation ever knew. It wasn't better technology or overwhelming force that stopped it. It was, by the Foundation's own admission, luck, and an enemy who was busy protecting its own secret. The book is locked away now. Whether the group that wrote it is finished is a question the file never actually answers. A self-help book, a celebrity cult, and 20 days the rest of the world was never allowed to remember. That's SCP-1425, Star Signals. All information in this video comes directly from scp-wiki.com/scp-1425, written by Silber Escher. The SCP Foundation is a collaborative fiction project. This page is shared under Creative Commons. The full file is free to read at scpwiki.com. Next week on Shroudex, explain, subscribe so you don't miss it.